What's going on, everyone? Anthony here with AC Toys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are reviewing the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Wave 11 Dino Fury Red Ranger. So if you saw from my last video, I was able to find the entire Wave 11 here locally in Houston, Texas at my Target. So that now confirms that these are showing up at both Walmarts and Targets. So don't just go ahead, check your Walmarts, make sure you're checking your Targets too. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this figure, or at least the box first. So you have your standard Power Rangers Lightning Collection box, Power Rangers Lightning Collection here at the bottom, Dino Fury Red Ranger. You have an open box window of the figures right there, civilian head sculpts. You have artwork right here that wraps around to the side. You have the Dino, let me hand that up. You have the Dino Fury logo right there at the top. This is the first Dino Fury Lightning Collection we have had in the series. You have more of the artwork right here on the other side. 3D rendering of the figure at the back. Red at the top. Legalese at the bottom. Here is a picture of the barcode if you want to go ahead and scan that at your local Targets or Walmart. See if they have any in stock. And yeah, enough of the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this guy open and see how cool he actually is. All right, guys, and here we have Zato out of packaging, and this is a great looking figure. Right off the bat, I'm gonna have to say the helmet sculpt on this guy is phenomenal. But yeah, before we get into that, what do you say we take a quick look at his accessories? So obviously he comes with his hands on him out of factory, which are weapon holding hands, one red, one silver. And then he comes with a silver close-fisted hand, so only one close-fisted hand for this side, and then one posing hand for the other side. So, you know, you got that typical Ranger posing hand right there in red. And then he comes with his little dino sword, saber, whatever you want to call it. Now, I do wish this thing would have been able to, like, chomp up and down. I think that would have really had set this figure apart. Obviously, you know, that cost them too much or whatever. But if you want to, he does have his holsters that you could just go ahead and slide that in there. He also comes with this lightning effect. I believe this is the first time we've seen this lightning effect. It's kind of a weird one. I don't know if it's meant for the sword. I assume it's for the sword, but it's kind of shaped kind of funny. I mean, it looks good. These are the ones I like that kind of wrap around the weapons to give it like a little charge up blast effect, but this one is just a little bit funky looking, so I'm not too sure what's going on here, but you can just kind of weave it in and out. It does have this weird U-shaped thing going on right here. I don't know if it's meant for his head. Doubt it's meant for his head. But speaking of that, here we have his Zato civilian head sculpt, and it's looking pretty good. Obviously, it's a lot easier with the current cast or more recent current cast because they have access to the actors for actual face scans. Whether they are scanning them or not, I don't know. But this is definitely one of their better ones. It looks just like him. So go ahead and pop that off. Pop on his head right there. And there you have Zato unhelmet or unmasked in his Ranger suit. Looking really, really good. Now, I know a lot of fans were like, oh, he doesn't have his antennas. I mean, obviously, yes, he does retract them in the show, but why didn't they just offer it with the antennas? During one of the live streams or an interview, I forget which one it was, somebody had brought up that question, and that when they had promotional shots or working with the show runners, they didn't know he was going to have antennas, so they didn't put antennas on this figure. According to, I think it was John, they said antenna was like a last minute addition that the showrunners decided to add in for whatever reason. I don't know. That's at least the excuse they gave on why Zato doesn't have his antenna on this civilian head sculpt. Honestly, I'm okay with or without. Looks good either way. Honestly, I don't think I would want it with. Mainly because I feel like in packaging they would just be warped and not look that great. Anyways, here's a closer look at the head sculpt. Looking really good. Details on this figure is really nice. Good looking suit. Painted all on the back. Right there. Now the morpher, unfortunately, is just a solid black molded plastic right there. So you do have to fill in the paint details if that's what you want to do on your own, but not too big of a deal. The sculpting is really good, so I'll give them that. So yeah, looks really good, right? all the details are there. I'm sure somebody who has a more fine details for painting these things will do really well. Me, I can only do so much. I'm probably not going to touch this one. But if you want to see what he looks like with the sword in his hand, this is how he looks. And then if you want, you can kind of like at least mimic the chomping action without actually doing the chomping action. Just kind of like put that hand in there and yeah. Nope, fell out. Anyways, come on. So I do wish these grips were a little bit bigger. It will fit. I'm just not going to fiddle around with it too much here. But yeah, there you go, guys. Good looking figure. So as far as articulation goes, he has your typical standard Power Rangers Lightning Collection articulation. He does have the full 360 at the head. We'll go side to side. Look up a good amount. Look down a good amount. Ball jointed shoulders. This one will go up a good amount actually. We'll 360 at the shoulders. Butterfly joints. We'll go forward about that far. Back all the way. Really, really good amount. Upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. Still has the pins. Does have wrist rotation. We'll do full 360. Hinge in. Hinge out. Upper diaphragm. Rock side to side. Full 360 if need be. This one has a nice little ratcheting sound. Or maybe just stuff breaking loose. I don't know. We'll go side to side. Lower ab crunch. Actually, the most I've seen a Ranger figure do. A pretty good amount. We'll go back a good amount. Does the splits a good amount. Better than the Lunar Ranger. Kick forward about that far. Back about that far. Upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Still has the peg holes. Boot cuff swivel. Ankle rockers and hinges. We'll go back about that far. Forward, not a good amount. The sculpting details around his boot kind of hinders it a little bit. So it really only kind of like tips forward just a tiny bit. No 360. We'll do side to side. Good amount. And peg holes at the bottom. So yeah, your standard typical Power Rangers Lightning Collection figure. I don't know what's going on with these sculpts. They're basically all the same. It's just some seem to have better range of movements than others. So it's really weird how some of them like react to like moving around versus others. As you can see, this guy does the splits a lot better than the Lunar Ranger did in my last review. This guy basically does it full on without any drop down hips. But anyways, let's go ahead and move into some size comparisons. So as far as size comparison goes, once again, I am currently in the middle of a move, so I don't have access to all my figures. But it's not like it matters. This is the only Dino Fury figure we have. So what we do have is all the other Red Tyrannosaurus Red Rangers to finally go along with Zayto. So here we have him next to Jason, the original. I wish I had Steve Cardenas, but once again, that is packed up somewhere. We have him next to the Dino Thunder and Dino Charge Red Ranger. So we don't have a, Forever Red display just yet. But if you wanted to do the Red Tyrannosaurus Ranger display, you now have access to all the current figures, or all the current Red Ranger Tyrannosaurus figures that are shown in the Power Rangers lore. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to final thoughts. So moving on to final thoughts, is he a smash? Is he a pass? I definitely recommend you pick up this figure if you can. The Red Rangers tend to sell out. Well, they don't tend to sell out, but they do tend to be more sought after than most other Ranger figures. Obviously, mainly because they're the Red Rangers. These, I believe, come two to a case. I think they all come two to a case from now on, so you won't have too much of a hard time finding them as long as the people in front of you aren't buying multiples for whatever reason. So I do suggest you pick them up if you see them. It's a great looking figure, a great start to the Dino Fury line of this. It's kind of weird that they said they weren't really going to introduce new series until they finish up their current series, which is why a lot of people are saying that Phantom Ranger was marketed as in space, because they said they didn't want to start new series, but like I mean with this one and Lunar Wolf, it's pretty obvious that that's not even a worry for them, and it just kind of goes and further proves that, you know, why couldn't Phantom Ranger be a Turbo Ranger if they're trying to figure out the rights. I think they're trying to figure out the rights issue with Turbo before they fully commit to Turbo, but that is another rant. You can find that in the Phantom Ranger video if you really want to go and debate it there. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video with everyone. You know, it really helps the channel. We recently hit 3,000 subscribers. I think we're at 3.1 now, which is a huge deal. This channel is basically mainly focused on Power Ranger figures right now because that is the videos that tend to do well on my channel, even though like lately I've been struggling to reach like 1,000 views. Hell, so some of them have been struggling to reach like 200 views. But anyways, I really appreciate the ones that do keep coming back and listen to me ramble on. And until next time, later.